tiger on the prowl. I'ma make it go wow. I'm original, and I told you so. I'm a kid in the candy store. Put the leather on the denim. I ain't the cure, I'm the venom. If you wanna find me, find the taillight. Something's coming in, you're gonna wanna take a red eye. It's time to go. It's time to go. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. I don't wait for nobody. I'm a summer name on the dotty. City lights call my name, drawn to the flame, and I'm feeling kinda naughty. I hit the ground running, step out the door and I'm stunning. Better hold tight cause you know what's going down. I'm setting the pace cause this is my town. So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink.
Welcome to What Up Wednesday. Keely Dunn, FHumpires, and you are the best third team in the world. Just saying. I am really glad you're joining me today because we got so much to talk about. I decided I was going to stretch my wings a little bit. Just, I've been doing those 2-minute warnings and, Keely Dunn, if you speak into the microphone, it's probably a lot better sound. Hi, we got a lot to do today. As you can tell, I'm running around a little bit crazy because I called an audible right before, I think 7 minutes before showtime. I'm like, I think I'm going to add another clip. Yeah, I love the challenge of never being perfect. I just embrace it. It's the way we live as umpires. It's great to see you all. This is what we have on the agenda today. There's a lot. We're going to do a little warm up. We're going to talk about a probable goal, playing advantage on a penalty stroke, a stick lift as an intentional breakdown foul, a penalty stroke for an intentional breakdown by a keeper, yet another red card. What is up with that? And when is an aerial over? Yes, we are doing all of that today because
How you like that?
we're that good. We're just that good. All of us. Okay. So while we are warming up, this is the topic. I'll bring this onto the screen. Hopefully. No, of course I won't. Does that one work? Let's try this again. There it is. You may have seen this one on the Instagrams. So while that's playing, I'm going to say hi to people. And if you have any comments on that situation, it's pretty cut and dry. Spoiler alert. You should be able to get it really, really quickly. So good to see you. Rachel, Simon is here, ready to go, poured and ready. I was ready too, as you could see. I was scrambling. Shane, great to have you. Amanda, yay. I'm really happy with all these tea drinkers. I feel like I'm in good company. It's fantastic. Lou Raider, you're back from not seeing you for a couple weeks, so thank you for coming. And yes, as Crispy, Prince of Wales, indicates, don't forget to hit that like button. I've got a graphic for that that's going to play over our little clip there. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but you know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it no matter what. I'm going to take it. Hi, Richard. Good to see you. Andrea Wright is here. Well, I know it was close, right? Scott, thanks. And you're going to be replaced, God. Thomas, good to know. Yeah, I have my tea. Everything's fine. Ben Burton, hey, friend. Very active on the Discord. It's good to have you, and Freddie is here. And yeah, right? Look, I'm a professional. Don't try this at home. I also don't have my mic cord in the right place, or my monitor cord. There we go. Let's see. So the comments right now, we've got Stain with a 23-meter restart. I know that's what he meant to say. Where's my sound effect for that? Gaidri, good to have you. Thank you for coming. Yes, it's a 23-meter restart because an umpire is part of the pitch. So whatever happens, regardless of where it changes direction, if he popped out into the goal, it's a goal. And social media doesn't seem to know that. I speak of it like it's a monolithic thing, you know, that there is one social media and it doesn't know the rules of hockey. But there were a lot of people, a lot of perhaps young fans of Dutch hockey who were attracted by a Thierry Brinkman headline, who were demanding another penalty corner would be called or something. But no, it's part of the pitch. And Brinkman definitely didn't intend to hit Michel Otten and put the ball off the end line. So that is the decision. I'm glad we all know that stuff. Good to have you. I, says Ben. There you go. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful what happens. I was umpiring at, oh my God, it was so long ago. I can barely remember what it was called. The Canada Summer Games. Back when hockey was part of the Canada Summer Games. Those were the good old days. I think it was an under 21 tournament at the time. I was not on this particular game, but my two colleagues were out there and it was a final pool match. So it was very important for who was going to progress to the semifinals. And one of my poor colleagues was standing just at an angle so that when the cross came towards her, she wasn't able to get out of the way. And there was a touch by an attacker within the circle, but for her deflection, it would have gone off the end line for nothing, but she ended up deflecting into the net and she had to call a goal. And she didn't umpire much after that, which is really, really sad. Don't take those things to heart because you can stop a goal as easily as you can put one in. And it's just one of those things. So too bad, so sad. Okay, let's get into it. Let's see how we do. What is a probable goal? This one was brought to me by Joe Cody, I'm not sure. He's Portuguese, a Portuguese FIH umpire, and he wanted me to have a discussion about this particular decision. This is our friend Salim Lucky on the pitch from Bangladesh. Really great to see him out there at such a big tournament. So you see first the ball contacting the stick and then the foot and then the penalty corner happening. So let's hear your thoughts on this one. Because obviously what we're looking at is an unintentional foul inside the circle that either disadvantaged the opposition or prevented a probable goal. And I'd like to know which one you think and why. I know what I think. Good to see you, Mr. Cummings. I'm going to start my music. I'm not going to start my music because I wrecked the button. It's all good. Let's get back there. Simon, you've been hit by a shot. The attacker who hit it and the defenders all stopped to make sure you're okay. Another attacker was awake. Oh, goal given. Okay. Simon, I can see why you did that. I think if everybody stops because you may be in danger, it might be a good time to stop the play. But I'm sure things happened. Mark McCartney, hi, you're new. So this will be the last time. I'm so excited for you. This is going to be the last time that you say penalty flick in my presence. and to anybody else out there. Okay? It's a penalty stroke. Oh, nothing's working on that screen. Okay. Richard Dunmore says the penalty stroke prevented a probable goal. Scott, what would have happened if the ball didn't hit the foot? This is a good point. Okay. What wouldn't have happened? Probably to the attacker on the post, who extremely likely to have scored. You think it could have been a penalty stroke, or should have been. Hi, Kiora. To Stefan. Good to have you. That's okay. We are here to learn, and I am here to tell you what words to use as you're learning. That's how I work. Penalty stroke, penalty stroke. Boy, there's a lot of penalty strokes being asked for here. Attack was disadvantaged. Not sure it was a good enough chance to be a probable goal, as the attacker could have missed the ball. The attacker could have missed the ball, friends. The defender hit the ball first, and then it hit the foot after. Too much going on. Mr. Eggleton, you would back the PC. It wasn't a likely. It was just a likely goal chance. Oh, Scott. You're literally, I am breaking into a sweat because you put them all in one sort of phrase. What do you say, Ben Burton? For you, it's not a probable goal in slow-mo because he's moves his foot into the way from the... Okay. Yeah. The problem with watching these kind of plays in slow motion is that every movement seems a lot more purposeful. And I think what you want to pay attention here is that not only did the player, the defender, move his foot to the left, but he also moved his stick to the left at the same time. So I definitely wouldn't give this as an intentional foul, to be totally honest. He is trying to move his body to move his stick with an upright trap, which is a very East Asian way to execute that skill. A lot of players would have tried to reach out with their low reverse block or something like that. Think back to the definition, says Richard, of the last from the last time. Probability 4 out of 5 times. Hey friend, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat the other week, and yeah, it's good to have you on board. Okay. Oh no, that's Karen. I got you confused with another skin person. Boy, this is so confusing trying to keep a track of everybody. We did cover this, but friends, okay? Let's just... As Mr. Milford, I think, properly pointed out, when we're talking about a probable goal, we're talking about it when the ball is already on the attacker's stick and the ball is moving towards the goal. Okay? This is before that attacker. We really do not know how many things could have happened. The attacker could have missed the ball. It could have hit the attacker's foot. Yeah, he's in a great spot. What if the ball gets deflected, doesn't hit the foot, but it bounces up and it goes in another direction? There are far too many things that could have happened in this instance for us to declare this to be a probable goal. Okay, there's a difference between when the ball is on the stick of the attacker and the ball has been sent towards the goal, and the ball being sent not towards the goal and we're expecting that an attacker might get it. Okay, we don't apply that. We have to take into account, sorry, we can still apply the same standard, but we have to take into account everything else that could have happened. And if you don't think that if India believed that this should have been a penalty stroke, that they wouldn't have been asking for it in some way, sure, they wouldn't have referred it, but there wasn't a single appeal, not even a second look at our friend Salim. Not a second look. The call on the field was a penalty stroke, Mr. Hunt. Thank you for asking. Let's see. For Mr. Cummings, it was, what's the difference between a ball going into the goal which hits a foot and an accidental foul where we can't reasonably predict what the attacker is going to do? Yes, that is the PC. Mark McCartney, how certain are we that the foot movement was not intentional to be secondary cover? A lot. Okay. We can't, what you're looking for is the stick over here and the foot moving in a different direction because the stick doesn't even make an effort and the player is trying to stop the ball. Okay. Yeah. I'm quite sure that's the proper way to interpret that. Amanda, where the foul is not when the ball is moving go towards the goal. There's too many maybes. That is why we're focusing on that. Likely, but not probable. Yep. And there's an effort to make the stick. So yeah, it's the movement of the stick along with the foot. Are we saying that a defender has to plant their feet and reach out with their stick? That they're not allowed to put their body behind the ball because actually we know that that's the best defensive technique or not defensive technique, that's the best technique in receiving the ball, period, is when you actually get your body behind the ball because then there's no angle calculation. The ball is coming straight at you. Oh, Hattie's lurking in the background. Come on, you lurker, get typing. Okay, so that's where I am with that. We calculate our probabilities based on how many different things could have happened after that. And it's that action, that foul does it. Just give me a sec. I had a horrible night of sleep last night. I umpired 2 high school games, which really weren't strenuous, but I am having some pain issues. So I did not sleep very well last night, and I'm done today. Okay. The fouling action needs to stop the ball from going into the goal, not stop something from happening that then could have allowed another attacker to put the ball towards the goal. Do you see the difference? I hope so. Yeah. Okay. Taco, I always mention to check in with my intuition. That said PC, but with the logic. But the logic is given now with all the contributors. No, and I think this is good. This is a good discussion to have because this is something that helps. I mean, we've been talking about penalty strokes a lot. I've got a few more today. And I think it's an important exercise to go through the different permutations and make sure we're applying the principles the correct way and not maybe jumping to the wrong assumption here. And I think for me, that is the important part. Did the foul stop the goal or did the foul stop something else that could have eventually led to a goal? Probable goal, not probable goal scoring chance, as Mark, I think, said. I'm not sure. I could have that wrong. Okay. 2-minute warning. I think that's what it's... I think I got all these. Chad, who says the attacker was going to stop and score it? Yep. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, you were a little late, but I was like, okay, Mr. Hunt isn't here. It happens. I should have triggered the 2-minute warning because this is the part of the show that I'm planning to say something intelligent and wrap up the topic. But I already said the smart thing, which was the goal. Okay, let's see if you have any more comments to bail me out for the next 1 minute, 19 seconds. 12.4a for Stain says a probable scoring of a goal, not a probable goal. Yep. I think you're backing me up, but I'm not totally sure. What do you mean she's not logged? Hattie, log into YouTube. I need the watch hours. What are you doing? Do you not know this is a professional operation? Oh my gosh. And you gotta like, you gotta do the things. You gotta like and press the bell and do all the things, or else it's like you're pretty much just, I don't know. You're insulting me. There we go. See, I just got a like. Thank you very much. Man, it's tough today. It's tough today. Okay, I'm just gonna see. Oh no, I can't trigger it. I can't trigger it manually to move on to the next scene. But that's okay. I'm gonna be so ready when we're going. Hey, but all the buttons have worked so far. I got that going on. Huh? Huh? Tick, 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 tick. Well, I'm glad you're happy to reduce it to a PC because I think it's the correct call. There you go. And that's time. I have a couple announcements before we go to the next topic. By the way, I want to congratulate the fine decision making of the following individuals who have joined the FHU third team. And, oh, are you joking me? No. This isn't happening. This isn't happening. There we go. Boom. I don't know if you know who this is. I'm going to cut that off right now. If you don't know who this individual is right here, I'm not sure what you've been doing. Only one of the finest umpires in the world when she was active, Lisa Roach, otherwise known as Roachy. I'm pretty sure we did tournaments together, but I couldn't find any photos of us together. So I was really sad. But anyway, I found one of her at the London Olympics. And there you are. So Roachy has decided to join as a third team member in the green. And I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. Thank you. And I'm pretty sure that Mateus has something to do with that. I'm just going to guess it out. So thank you. Roachy, good to have you. And send me a DM and let me know what you're doing these days. All right. And then FHU 3T Yellow.
How you like that?
Just like my thumbnails. Wait. I hate taking those photos. Harry Raffin, otherwise known as Harry9999. Everybody knows what that means. Congratulations on this great life choice you've just made to join us in yellow. And you were at your first huddle on Monday, and I hope you had a great time. Thank you all. If you don't know what the Sam Hill I'm talking about with all this stuff, then that is where you want to go. FHU3T.com is the spot. And there we go, turning off that overlay. And basically, the yellow one is where you get all the mentoring and you get to hang out with me all the time and listen to me talk more. God, I'm not selling this very well. But anyway, it's individualized mentoring in small groups, and we're building together and building each other's growth and careers as groups. So I'd love to have you a part of it, but the $7 green membership gives you access to the clip library. So thank you very much for everybody's support who have been part of the third team for a very long time. You rock. Okay. How am I doing? Topic 2. I can't see a clock. Okay, 12:27. I got this. Playing advantage on penalty stroke. This was brought up in the Discords. Could have been Yope. I can't remember. And that is the play. So, what is interesting about this situation is not the decision. It seems, fairly clear. The problem is with the timing of the whistle. Because the player in question, the attacker who has been brought down by the foul of the goalkeeper here, is really in a tough spot to score. So I'd like to know what you think about how that was applied and what we should be looking for when we are considering our timing on a penalty stroke decision. So let's have it. David, you are exempt. Okay? You don't have to know who Rochi is. It's like, asking somebody who isn't into YouTube to know who Nick Nimmin is. We know who he is. But unless you're a content creator, you don't know. So many great niches. You're here, Evison. Thank you. Whew. I was a little bit worried. I was thinking like maybe I'd said something in the last show that, made you reconsider how the whole thing was going. And so I'm glad you're here. Okay. Let's hear your comments. I think that many of you have heard me talk about advantage. And you've heard me talk about how back in the day, waiting to see what would happen was probably the most useful approach to advantage because there was only a static free hit to consider. However, in the era of the self-pass, in the era of the pace of the game being what it is now, we are looking at advantage in a different way. And what I'm encouraging umpires to do when I coach them is not to think of, I'm going to wait to see what happens and then come back to the initial foul. That's how you do it in other games where there's only like one foul every 5 minutes, like the oblong sport ball. I understand that's how it goes. If I've misstated how sport ball is, it's sport ball. You don't expect me to be an expert there. But in hockey, we have so many things going on that all changes what is a foul, what isn't a foul, and many fouls happening in succession. And in a 10-second time span, we could have 3 different decisions to make as to whether a benefit was gained, whether advantage could be given, whether nobody was disadvantaged whatsoever, or whether, yes, there was a straight disadvantage and we're going to award a team penalty. It's incredible when you think about it, how many decisions umpires are making. And for me, this is an example, potentially. It appears when watching it that this looks like I'm going to wait to see what happens because this player might put the ball into the net. And then I'm going to go back. The whistle was when the signal went up. He has his whistle in his mouth. I can go back to the... Okay, the ball is already well gone off the end line by the time he actually blows the whistle, but he's signaling and blowing basically after the ball has exited the pitch. Okay, ideally you need to get the whistle in as quickly as possible. Looks like the ump was reacting slowly. It makes it look bad. It looks like, even if that wasn't the issue, even if that has nothing to do with the umpire is thinking in the situation, it gives the appearance that she was given an opportunity to put it in the net, failed to do so, and then got another opportunity by the team penalty being awarded. And worldwide, this seems to be the phrase that literally everybody knows. Gayatri, maybe this is new to you. You can bring it into India. 2 bites at the cherry. I don't know why it's a cherry. I don't know why we're biting into things, but it looks like 2 bites at the cherry when you should only eat it in one. Is that how it works? Mark, if we blow too quickly and the player scores, could we upgrade to a card as it was a wee bit dangerous? Okay, let's shift our thinking to that. So if we call the penalty stroke immediately because we think that player's been brought down to the ground quite painfully, and right then we decide, nope, she has a less of a chance to score from being brought down and fallen down on the ground by the goalkeeper than if a static player gets to shoot from 9 meters out against a static goalkeeper with no pressure. Okay? Advantage is intended to be not, oh, there's a slim chance this might work out, so I'm gonna see what happens. Advantage is the opportunity to the foul team is better to allow play on than it is to stop the play with the team penalty. So I think in the moment, blowing that, I know it's hard because you're like, well, what, I can wait. Okay. So basically you either blow the penalty stroke right then, right as the player's falling down, or you hold on and you kind of have to wait to see, like, if she misses, she misses. Okay, but this doesn't look the way we want it. So think about your whistle timing. Think about what am I going to want to see here in order to let this continue? So you're preparing what your call is going to be. What do I want to see? Does she have somebody to pass to that is right there? No, it's a 1-on-3 if you include the goalkeeper, okay? So she has no support. She has nowhere to pass the ball to. Nobody else can pick up the loose ball and put it into the empty net because the goalkeeper's come so far out, she's gone. I'm looking for, is she going to stay on her feet on this? Okay? And if she's not staying on her feet and able to control the ball, that is not a better opportunity than what a penalty stroke provides. Okay. Everson, you agree that it's a double advantage there. The player was able to play and miss the chance. And yes, you want to blow the quick whistle. Now, if I go back to Mark's comment, this could be a yellow card to the goalkeeper. Could be. Okay. Regardless of whether the player scores or not. Okay. The results of the play shouldn't determine whether you need to send a personal message to that player or not. Okay? The result of the play could be a result of advantage, so you don't have to award the team penalty. You could play advantage potentially in a situation. I mean, if she's able to get around, she probably hasn't been fouled. She hasn't been broken down to the same extent, so maybe you're not looking at it. But what you're looking for, again, I mean, we talk a lot about the cards, and I go through the briefing. So let me come to the card. I guess we can start with a green. Okay. Now remember that all of these points in the briefing are coming without considering any team penalty context. So what happens in the middle of the field, as a North American would say it, the neutral zone, potentially. Inside the 23 and inside the circle are 3 different areas. The thing about the middle of the field is we don't have any other option other than to call a free hit. We don't have any way to step up to punish the intentionality or the recklessness with which the player attempted the action. So we need to have, we're going to go to those at a different point on the elevator than we will if that same foul happens inside the 23 and the same foul happens inside the circle, because we have other ways to balance the scales of justice. We don't have those abilities in the middle of the field. So with the green being probably not what we're looking for here, we could look at this being a breakdown of play with high impact on the play, a physical foul with a body or stick bringing a player down. Let's just make sure that, a dangerous tackle that grounds or trip players, including sliding tackles by attackers and defenders. Okay, that can be there. But just consider, before we get all like, oh, well, that sounds like the definition of a 10-minute yellow card. Oops, I went to the wrong one. Don't mind me. Just consider here that, there's a lot going on that's taken that goalkeeper into that position, including her own player tripping over her. Okay, so seeing how much control she has of her body, that contributes to the recklessness of the action and how much you're going to impart into that. You're also going to want to consider everything else that's happened in the game up to that point. Is the penalty stroke enough of a deterrent in this moment? Have there been other breakdown fouls? We don't know this information. It's late in the game. We know that because this is the tying goal that sends it into a shootout. But I don't know if the first clip. Do you have a time? No. So I don't know if this happens. This could be the tying goal in the first quarter. It could be the tying goal in the fourth quarter. We don't know. And we don't know the temper and the spirit and how many cards have been awarded for what prior to this. Would I be surprised if a 5-minute yellow card comes out for this goalkeeper? No. Would I be surprised that one did not? No. Okay. So that's fully ambiguous for y'all. I hope that helps. Okay. Let's wrap this up with all of your comments in the 2-minute whistle. Let's see where we are. Right at the cherry, double advantage. Bentley says hi. Hi, Bentley. Good to see you. Or to be seen by you. I'm seeing your dad right now. It's not the same. Is the balance based on the player scoring? In netball, the whistle can blow. But if the goal is scored from the play, the goal stands unless free hit defense. So blow first. Okay, we don't apply that, the same thing as you apparently do in netball. That isn't, once we've awarded the penalty, play is stopped. That's the dead noise. That's kind of an interesting way of looking at it, but so many things can happen in our sport that, I mean, there's a shot in netball is an isolation. Like there's nobody else around who can change what happens with that shot. So netball, basketball, once it's up in the air, nobody's going for it except maybe somebody's going to try to block it, which could actually be, do they call it goaltending? I think they do. Anyway, no. Short answer, no. There you go. Hey, friends. Hey, Nick. Doesn't look physical enough for a personal penalty. It was clumsy, but the goalkeeper was just trying to get to the ball. Yeah. And it's that level of that danger. I just don't see it there. I see it as a high impact physical play or a high impact breakdown foul, potentially. But if the penalty stroke in a 2-1 game at that point, given what else has happened, and we don't need the goalkeeper to receive a personal message, that seems enough to me. Okay? But we don't know what the rest of it was. Okay, so pre-plan, read, and with quick whistle timing, you will get through that. Okay, let's move on. It's a race, guys. A stick lift is a breakdown foul. This was super fun.
Interpretation of the whole thing.
Brutal. That said, I must admit, I think the communication between these two umpires been
Did you see
super.
that? It's a penalty corner. Gigi Oliver absolutely knocked it away. Coming back to the bottom of the car. She has read that brilliantly because Gigi Oliver deliberately knocks the opponent's stick out of the way. Watching the replay, watch here as it goes through, watch this. There's the knock, that's the corner. That is superb umpiring to see that at match speed as it's knocked away. Really well done from Rona McCarr. Interpretation of the whole thing.
Brutal.
Okay. I'm going to wrap this up with Pappy because I do want to address what they've said here. I have a quick whistle between the 23, but less when inside the 23 or in the D. When in the 23, the player can possibly go inside the D and to gain a PC. When in the D, gain an opportunity to shoot. Thought, incorrect way to apply advantage. I'm sorry, I just went through all this, and you need to reframe this because waiting means that you are going to be bringing a play back from further away. The best way to call this game is to know that advantage is there and you don't stop the play, or you blow really quickly, including inside the 23, because if the attacker still has the ball in their stick, they can boop over top and go for a quick self pass and eliminate a defender who is around the ball, a couple of defenders who are around the ball who cannot now infringe on that 5-meter space without giving up a penalty corner. A quick whistle could be the best thing you can do inside the 23. But you have to be able to see what kind of foul is going to keep the ball on that player's stick. What options do they have to pass to a teammate immediately? Because waiting, coming back to the free hit, and the player has to go get the ball and bring it back to where they are, means the defensive structure can get into place. They have time to set up. You have taken away every advantage of time and space away from the attackers. No. With love. Challenge yourself in this. I promise you, reframing advantage like this will make you a far better umpire. You will be slaying out there. Okay? Anticipation, planning, and sometimes switching your whistle hand can help. Okay, awesome. Let's talk about this one here, okay? And I don't think it's contentious in any way, shape, or form. I said, is a stick lift an intentional foul? That was clickbait. I was completely clickbaiting it because this is a fantastic call. And what I love about it is that this is something that we actually see quite a bit on the pitch, or we could be seeing on the pitch, but we don't. And what is important here, again, is don't watch the attacker and what she's doing. Watch what the defender does with their stick. If you can do that, you're going to see this stick lift. And penalizing this as an intentional breakdown foul is superlative. It broke down the play. The player was in full control. This isn't even a reckless. Okay? There is no recklessness as to the result. She didn't use this motion not knowing whether she was going to lift the attacker's stick off the ball or not. It was absolutely certain that would be the result. Furthermore, the player in question, the defender who committed the stick lift, had taken a green card early in the game, and she actually took a yellow card on this play as well for 5 minutes. This is in quarter 4, as you can see by the timestamp. We're just starting out Q4, so we're on in the game. And as I just told you about, other messages have been sent, including to this same player, that she didn't take on. It is. It's all about shifting. Now, I think what's interesting here, again, if I were advocating a style of positioning to aspire to here, okay, Ivana's pretty lucky, actually, that she saw it, because she's got a defender body and an attacker body in her line of sight, okay? When you see here, if you are interior to this play and you're more in, God, I'm literally pointing into the screen. But I have this. Let's see if I can. Okay, where is she? So if the umpire is more in that spot, okay, looking at this angle, man, it would have been so easy to see it, like wide open, clear. Okay, and I know there's a lot of what ifs. What if this person was in a different position, that sort of thing. But from here, you have the option of going in different directions. Okay, from here, Ivana doesn't have the luxury of being able to move in this direction. She can't. She is on her horse. Damn it. She's on her horse because she knows she has to get into the circle. Probably not at that angle. Probably more at this angle, okay? She's got to get there, and she's got to get to her post and to her happy place. So with mission critical positioning, getting inside and having the play coming towards you rather than chasing it, then I think gives you more options to adjust your angle so you have the best chance of seeing what happens here. Okay? But an absolutely lovely call by Ivana. I loved everything about it. And it was really nice to also hear the commentators giving her props for that. So there you go. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. So I'm going to loop this. Actually, let's do this. 2-minute warning. Let's see if there's anything else. Yes, a great decision. Oh, you know what? I think I could just move on to the next title because I wrapped it up. Okay, I'm going to get better at this, I promise. Right now, I'm giving you my word. This shall to pass. Okay. Oh, wait. Before I go, I did get another comment. If she was in good interior position, she might have been blocked by defenders. Yeah, but what I'm saying is she's got more options. If you're late coming in, you don't have the option of moving back outside. So if you are seeing momentarily that you're getting blocked by defenders, you've got a couple steps that way and a couple steps that way. You've got that option. I was playing a lot with that last night in the high school games that I umpired. It's playoff time here, so we play a very different season from, I don't know, everybody in the world. And what I enjoyed was recognizing, because I've heard a lot of people talking about in the server about concerns about missing fouls. Like they're getting to their happy place, but they still feel like they're missing things. So, okay, why? I then start asking questions. Why? And if I was getting planted, I would struggle. And you just need to remember that the happy place is a place of flowing movement and freedom. You don't just plant yourself. And what is the actual correct angle depends on where the defenders are going. And so you have to imagine what's going to happen. Who's going to meet whom? What kind of lane are they going to take off? Are they going to take the hot line? Are they going to, are they going to go mark somebody? That kind of thing. Supporting umpire would have had a great view too. Yep. Absolutely. They could have helped with a long whistle. That's a good point, Stain. And of course, completely agree that the better position gives more. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me. That is always the safe option on this show. Do you agree? Good work. I'm just kidding. Oh, goodness. Everson, this is new for you. Players are always doing that here, and you think defender ball, the defender won it. Oh, dear. Okay. So what we're looking for, thanks for bringing it up. This is important. We are looking at a form of stick obstruction. Okay, because no player can interfere with, which rule is it here? Intentionally raise 5 meters, kick stop. I'm having a great time with my brain today because I can't find the obstruction. But it's here. (9-3), thank you. It's a good thing I've got all you lot. Oh, it is there. Okay. So 9-3, you can't interfere with another player's stick or clothing. Or 9-12. This is the one I was actually looking for. Okay? So you can't obstruct with the stick or body of an opponent and moving it and interfering with it. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can call it either way. Either way, it works. Okay? So, Everson, this is definitely not... I don't know why I have the word do up there, other than I used that in another presentation. I'm just going to erase it really slowly. Okay, pretty clear? Let me know if you need more on that, Everson. If you haven't joined the Discord server where we can have, more conversations about these sort of things, I would highly recommend it. Just pop into FHumpires.com/Discord. And I can do that really fast in the chat as well. And the lovely thing about the Discord is that you can not only take advantage of being able to talk to me directly, but you can take advantage of the incredible community of people that we have. So I have this technique. What I do is when people answer the question really well, they say it the way that I would have said it, and I'm really pleased that they did so. I put a maple leaf emoji reaction. That's my stamp of approval that I love that answer. And there's a lot of people in that community that do a great job of answering questions. So make sure you go in and take advantage of that, because we're here for learning. And you can feel assured that if something kind of goes off in the wrong direction, if I'm not behind the advice that I'm seeing being given by my friends and colleagues in there, then I make sure to bring it back. It's not social media. You are? Okay, don't tell me what your handle is here, but I didn't know. What's your handle? I don't know. Hi, Marcos Rossetti. ¿Cómo estás? Okay, was that 4 or was that 5? I have to go look at it. No, okay. This is the big one that we're gonna have more to talk about. Let's go. A penalty stroke for an intentional breakdown by a goalkeeper. This was the audible. Oops. Let's listen to the sound first.
It's taken down just about by Zhu. Out comes Hesh. Oh, penalty stroke given. Not much. Savvy Hesh could do. Now she's asking to refer it.
Not sure why. Yeah, I mean, surely it's a stone dead penalty.
When I said not much she could do, there wasn't really anywhere she could go. Let's listen in.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Cindy.
Again, the stroke, because the goalkeeper didn't kick the ball. This is thank you.
So Cindy's language is interesting, but I've talked a lot about what she goes through. And she says, I gave a penalty stroke because the goalkeeper did not kick the ball.
Just knocks the ball away.
And I don't think necessarily that would have been enough. Making contact with the ball is not enough of a reason necessarily, because the goalkeeper is coming into the space after the defending player. Okay, she's chasing. If she came straight out, as we've been showing in several instances over the last couple months, if a goalkeeper is taking a clear line to the ball that they are already in that space, or they're entitled to move into that space because it's a 50-50 with the player, and they're so if they get to the space first, they are entitled to use their body to play the ball, and the onus is on the attacker then to move around that player. That's not what is happening here. Okay? It is a bit of a 50-50 ball that the Chinese player gets to, but the goalkeeper is late in getting to it. Now, it was pointed out on the server, and I completely agree with this, and let me know if you think the same thing, that it looks really bad from the regular camera angle. When you see the side-on angles, it looks a lot less. That one still doesn't look very good. So the question that was posed on the server was, why wasn't this also a card? So let's see what you have to say. David, is the keeper allowed to kick the ball? Yes. They are allowed to use their pads, their kickers, blockers. Blockers are these things, leg guards, which are the big leg pads that you're seeing, or any part of their body and their stick to play the ball and to make a save. So that's what we're looking at here. This is one of those plays that honestly I think gets more into the 5-minute yellow card territory for me. And it's a good point to raise and to look at it. And it's because of getting to the space later. It doesn't look like she's late here. But when you look from the other two angles, yeah. They look like cricket pads. I wouldn't know about that form of sport ball, but there were a lot of similarities with the gear back in the day, historically, until they realized that. So if you see modern cricket pads are even more advanced, but back at the canes, there used to be just cane strips that the goalkeepers wore, and I think that was the same as that form of sport ball, but I can't be sure. Okay. And they're completely different to wear, as Stefan says. Okay, so it doesn't seem like you guys have a lot of concerns about this. If I did a good job in explaining the difference between, say, this foul and the one that we saw in the very second clip. Anyway, the Hoofdklasse final? In the final series, I think. Then that's cool. If the distinction there is clear and the degree of control that the goalkeeper had over their actions leading into this, were they off balance? Had their own player collided with them? Were they flopping on the ground? All that kind of stuff. That's what we're looking for. And Stefan, you don't think the card is warranted? Oh, I can't even. And it's a 5-minute yellow for Simon. Absolutely. Okay. 2-minute warning. I think we're doing pretty well. It's 1 o'clock on the dot, and I've got 2 more clips. This is fantastic. I'm very pleased. Okay. So the finest of factors can make the difference between whether you are going to award a personal penalty on top of a team penalty. Maybe some of the mitigating factors there were, I'm pretty sure that was the first breakdown of the game. It was only quarter 2. So maybe you could justify it that way. Maybe that's something that you would take into account as well. Had previous warnings been issued to that team to not break down the play intentionally, to not perform reckless actions with the likelihood that it would stop the play with a team penalty. So that's what we're looking for. The goalkeeper wasn't reckless in the case of throwing themselves with no control. They stayed in control and easily stood up. Yeah, that's the opposite of what I'm trying to get at, because okay. I think we're on the same page. Just tell me we're on the same page. Let me off the hook there. And it certainly was a referral wasted. Yep, absolutely crazy. I'm just gonna skip the time because we're ready to go. What?
Reguliere speeltijd af te maken. Nog 1 strafcorner. Een ingewikkelde variant, dat is het. De flats van Dawson. Die bal blijft hangen daar bij Brink. Jannes van het Hek, de scheidsrechter staat er bovenop en fluit. En dan daarna is het Pruiser die hem binnentikt. Mirko Pruiser en dan een handgemeen tussen Pruiser en Hidde Brink. Pruiser woest, wordt weggehaald.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to know you're agreeing with me about 99% of the time. Okay, so I think my friend Joop, or no, it was somebody else. One of my very good Dutch friends. Such a good friend that I couldn't possibly forget you. Sorry, my brain just isn't working today. This is, we have brain problems. Brought this to our attention. So what happened was, I think I closed the window. But I can summarize. Please trust me on this, but go ahead and go to hockey.nl if you need any further explanations as to what happened. In the moment, in this game, okay, a free hit out was awarded for, who knows, a million things were happening at once. And Jonas gave the free hit out. And after everything settled, both captains were given a yellow card for failing to control their teams, which is a pretty good way of handling the situation in the moment. Because there's no question that there was no control exercise with the captain. You can see Mikko Preußer here is the captain of Amsterdam. And he's the one in the middle of it. And who knows where the is it Tilburg? The Tilburg captain is in this. I can't tell. I can't see. Okay, but it's a really ugly situation. And I didn't have the opportunity to watch this whole game because it was broadcast on a pay-per-view service in the Netherlands that I just can't figure out how to access, mostly because I don't understand Dutch. And lots of Dutch people don't even know where they're going to find it from day to day. And that's what had happened in the moment. The two yellow cards to the two captains. On review, Preußer was awarded a red card. Okay, so when I say on review, I mean the disciplinary body in charge of the conduct of this league, retroactively awarded a red card. Okay, this was the final, I think. I'm pretty sure it was the final, so I'm not sure how the Hoofdklasse handles their red cards, if there's going to be a potential suspension that carries over into the next season or what the case is, but it's there. Okay. Did he just Will Smith the keeper? David! Okay. Yes, look at that swarming in here. Okay. Nick, we have 32 in the audience, but only 12 likes. Oop. No, I wanted to do this. I wanted to run this scene. Pouty face. Pouty face. I'm just kidding. I gotta work harder. I get it. Oh, Pinoquet. Sorry. Pinoquet. Tilburg was another one. Looks like the keeper's trying to stop it with holding on to number 10, but yeah, like the keeper's getting in the way of Preußer running up to Jonas and, putting his hand on him. To me, I'm not surprised that Jonas didn't see the helmet smack, push, whatever you want to call it. I'm not surprised he didn't see it because he's got the blonde guy right in front of him, right up in his face. And that is the problem that I've said over a few times over the last few weeks. If we don't control the swarming, if this is the norm for behavior, we are going to miss other problems. All of those players in a small space together, all trying to yell at you at once, exacerbated the tensions between the two teams. Because they're all trying to get your attention. They're all trying to get in your face. And this is why culturally we have to stomp this out. It cannot occur. So do not pass go. Do not collect $200 whenever you have more than one player coming up to you to argue about a decision. The second player goes. End of story. One of you. Second player goes. Green card, nice and easy. I don't have the cards slipping in here. Oh, that's where it is. Cards, right here. So the green card here, okay, minor misconduct, criticizing or crowding the umpire. Okay, the green card should work here if you do it the first time it happens. The problem is with everything that we do with interventions, if we don't get in there right away, if we don't get the first time, if we're not dealing with it consistently such that players understand that there are going to be consequences to their actions, then you might have a yellow card situation crowding with reds getting thrown in there too. So you have to deal with it, because this is not a situation you want to be in. I've been there, and it's not fun. Okay, let's get our 2-minute warning going. It was the playoff semifinal, Ben thinks. Okay, semifinal hotly disputed. Yeah. I mean, I would expect nothing less. And the EHL games are hotly disputed too. There's a lot of money on the line in EHL games, but you don't see that nonsense, do you? Because culturally, the players who are stepping up to the EHL that are from the very same teams that are participating in this competition understand that they can't behave that way. It's known. It's cultural. So, if this is a problem in your area, then you and all of your colleagues need to get on board and stomp it out. Without that swarm, players would have been more separated, further away from each other. Nobody would be stepping in to protect you, and you wouldn't have the next thing happening. We don't want those ugly incidents happening. This is not about, we're not just about punishing here. We're here to be proactive and preventative. Very much. But at least a captain got carded. Yeah, that's because we're not sport ball. Did the goal count? No. A free hit defense was awarded for some reason. And I'm not sure exactly what was happening there. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. Supporting umpire stays. Yes, that is very important. If you do have that situation, supporting umpire has to stay away so that they can see the things that the controlling umpire, who's under all the pressure and can't see around, they can notice these things and write them down. Very important. Nick, you had 3 players coming at you. It's important to keep calm and not respond emotionally. Yep, exactly. Point to the second player in the crowd and give them that green card. And if you stay here, you're next for the third player who comes. Absolutely. And that's time. Let me deal with this, David. I think just our terminology is getting in your way here. So a free hit defense is a form of, it is a team penalty. It's not different from a team penalty. It's just it's going in that direction instead of the team penalty being a penalty corner or a penalty stroke. Those are the options in that particular area. So that is the penalty that you're looking at. Scott, if 2 start coming at you for the first time and things are still calm, you hold up a finger. Yeah, exactly. You say one of you. If the tensions are high or a bigger crowd, you say captain. Yep, absolutely. It really depends on the team, and it's important for you to. This is why we establish rapport. This is why we have a coin toss. This is why we watch warm-ups, is to see who are the real leaders on the team. And if there are players on the pitch who aren't necessarily wearing the captain's band, but definitely are the leaders on the pitch, perhaps that person might be the goalkeeper. Maybe it's the center back. Maybe the captain is off on the bench. You understanding who actually runs the show is crucial, and you can incorporate that knowledge into the manner in which you address these situations. Because there are some teams where I'd be turning to the person who I know gets stuff done, who understands umpiring, who understands the rules, that sort of thing. I'd be saying things like, Kathy, deal with this now. Especially if I can't find the captain in there. You might not even be able to see who they are. You might not know where they are. And if you're going, captain, 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 and the captain's on the bench, it's not a good look. But thank you very much for that. I think I've made a very compelling case about anti-swarming. So there you go. Here's the last one. You're doing good, people. When is an aerial over? This one popped up on Instagram. As per usual, Real Hockey. They just insist on clickbaiting and will not tag me. And I'm like, well, I can give you an answer to this if you want, but they don't. Okay. See you, Stefan. You got to go to school. Kakiteano to all of you. And bye, Bentley. Have a great day at school. Be good. And be smart. Okay. So this one was scored. Actually, the player here, this is Argentina club competition. And the attacker who scores this is actually on the under 21 team, I believe. I looked at her Instagram for a while to try to figure out exactly who she was. But one of the big disadvantages in this situation is the camera angle we have. It's kind of hard to see exactly how high the ball is in this situation. Because the one thing that I want people to understand, you hear people saying, well, the ball is bounced, so the aerial is over. That's not necessarily true. That's only one factor you look at. The other factors are, was there an initial receiver? And there was. There was a defender who was in the first reception area, which is around the 5-meter dotted line. And she misses it. So when you are anticipating an initial receiver, do you then, oh, they missed it, now I have to find a new initial receiver? And it's got to be the goalkeeper in this case because they were more in the space. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's really, really hard. So you're taking into account whether a reception, whether there was already an initial receiver who mishandled the ball. After that point, I'm not saying that this couldn't have been a dangerous situation. It absolutely could have. But after that point, you are then just applying danger rules. And this here was played safely. Okay. And played really well, by the way. Okay, let's see what you have to say. If there's any comments on that one? Not at the moment. Let's see. Following the definition that you've been taught, you'd say that the aerial wasn't over. What definition have you been taught? It didn't seem to be dangerous, so that's the reason for the aerial rules anyway. You're absolutely right. And it's important to understand that we enforce the aerial rules because it's about danger. You want to say goal. I definitely want to say goal too. So when we are playing, when the aerial basically is over, is at the point at which the players can contest the ball safely. In general speak. So that could have been a bounce and that ball could have gone even higher, and then you have the ball perhaps and coming more to the inside space of the circle rather than moving away as it was. You see how it's bouncing, it's still kind of moving away, and the goalkeeper was, trying to move to her right in order to make a save, I guess, or intercept the ball. And if that ball had been coming in a different trajectory and had bounced and been going into an area into a group of defenders, and it was high enough that it was likely to lead to danger, you're going to call that. It makes sense to do so because the players still require the protection. Do they need the protection here? No. And we're starting to scale back that artificialness of that 5-meter initial receiver stuff. In general, we're now allowing the interceptions. So as long as it's done safely and it's not within playing distance of the ball. There can be only one initial receiver. Yeah. Yeah, that happens. Not when I commented, but there you go. So for me at this point, wait. Oh, I don't have a 2-minute rule there? Okay, I'll trigger it that way. Okay, with our 2-minute warning, I was just reading Evis's comment here. I didn't want to bring it up on screen because then it would vanish with this scene. But anyway, here it is. You've been struggling with balls that bounce and become a second aerial. Okay. I hope this helps. I hope this helps you apply the principles, because it's unfair to expect that if that ball is landing in or is bouncing and then coming into another area where it would be contested, it's unfair to expect that the attacker has to move away with a second of notice because they're not the initial receiver the second time. They're not the secondary receiver, right? That just is it's too onerous of a duty. Rupert, hi, good to see you. Doesn't look dangerous, good skill goal. Okay. It would be a great time for all that. That's fantastic. Gang, I think that's a record. 119 with 7 clips. Technically, is the aerial over though? So it's danger from the team who put it up. Definitely taken from the landing point, not where it up and bounced though. And that's because, again, the action that's causing the danger is actually, you could argue, was the initial receiver who missed the ball. She missed the ball, then if she had received the ball, no problems. We would have been able to keep playing on. So is that where the danger was caused? Or was the danger caused, it gets really hairy. But at the end of the day, we're looking at whether it can be contested safely there. I hope that helps. Yeah, there you go. This is hilarious. Like. Do it. Okay. If you have not yet, just another reminder, we love to have more people joining. I think we're getting up to almost 600 people now in the server, which is just fantastic. And just, it's a great resource for you to be able to participate. And part of this, gang, one of the reasons that I can sit up here and like a weirdo talk to myself on a live stream and look into a piece of glass and pretend it's you, is I've been practicing talking about rules for a very long time. I have years and years of arguing with people on the internet about the rules. That has given me the chance to hone my intellectualism, I guess, to be able to present something that is cogent, that makes sense, has a logical backing, and is a sound argument to you when I talk to you now. So if you get into, and that helps me apply rules when I'm actually out on the pitch. So if you come into the Discord server and get that practice, thinking through, making sense of it all, hearing different points of view and, okay, does that work? Does that make sense? Taking all into account, that is going to really help grease the wheels in your wheelie brain to get things going. So think about that as part of your umpiring development, not just satisfying your curiosity or getting an answer for one particular moment that happened to you on the past weekend. Okay. Scott, you've debated with coaches over this before. You can just tell them to yeah. I mean, I get blamed for everything else, so you might as well just send them my way. Send them to the server, because I do have a coach's role and they get to be everywhere else, but they also have, guys, they have a secret area that they could talk about us in that the rest of us can't see. Well, I can because it's my server. And the mods can because they're mods. But otherwise, I think there's 3 coaches in there right now, maybe 4. Because a lot of them are kind of like, oh, like this seems really like super high nerdy and not my jam. And I'm like, don't worry about it. This is how you learn. This is how you get better at things. 575 is the current count. Yeah. Absolutely love that. And to this plan, Rachel says, yes. Sounds like a plan. That's fantastic. Okay, I'll give you another couple minutes. If you have any random questions you want to throw at me, it's not a Keeley hour yet. So, I don't know. Okay, here's a straw poll I can ask you all about. I've been thinking about sharing this for a while and having a conversation about how we as umpires prepare and how we treat our fitness and our health as umpires. Because I started a weight management program because I'm not happy. And I want to know if you guys would like to hear about my experience with that. It's kind of weird because now I've just told you about it. I struggle sometimes in talking about the things that I do personally in my own life because I think, no, you guys want to hear about umpiring. You don't want to hear about me. But if you think that this would help you deal with some of the, work through some things for yourself, to get support, to get encouragement, to make me more human, I'm here to talk about this. Not today because I haven't prepared the stuff, but next time, let me know if you think that would be valuable. Because if it's here to be understood, if it could help, I'm happy to do it. Every time I've thought I've overshared on the stream, I get a flood of people saying thank you so much for sharing that because I have felt exactly the same way. And I have a lot of thoughts and feelings about these issues, so that might be interesting. Everson, thank you. Now I'll be able to find you. Okay. And if you post it in there, that'll be even better. Let's see. Did you say something in general? I mean, Mr. Eggleton's here. We do know that. Oh, you've set up 2 accounts, Dave. Okay, we're going to have to talk about this because I'm pretty sure you were in there before. There you go. Is that a rosé-based diet? Part of it has been not drinking many rosés, to be honest. And Mark, you'll know this. Our good friend Goddard's, amazing transformation over the last few years. Last 2 years. Lost a ton of weight because he stopped going to the pub because he was locked down. And boom, the pounds just fell off the guy. He's half the size he used to be. I mean, he wasn't big before, but now he's tiny. He's just a wee little lad. And all because he stopped going to the pub. That's what he told me was his secret. So there you go. Umpire fitness, yes, please. Gayatri, there's a video that I'll link for you in general about backwards running that I think you should have a look at. It was an umpire at home with my partner, who's a real big backwards running fan. So we're going to talk about that. He's a pocket umpire. So I'll send that to you as well. But yeah, talking about umpire fitness will be important because you've got your big test coming up in September. So there you go. Okay. Great show. Thank you so much for everything. And yes, umpire fitness does sound like a lot of work, but it's important. And this is for Northern Hemisphere folks, unless you're Canadian, or if you're Vancouver, you're pretty much a European-based folk anyway. Anyway, this is an off season for a lot of people. And that's why I asked the question a couple weeks ago, what do you do? What do you do in your off season to get ready? And I wanted to see how many people were like, I take it as an opportunity to get in better shape so that when I roll out September, I'm rolling deep. I wanted to know if that was something that people consciously thought about or not. So I'll look at ways that we can talk about this. Maybe I can talk about the weight stuff in Discord and not here on YouTube, and then I'll be a lot happier. A lot more comfortable in with my friends. There you go. You're very welcome. Thank you, Mr. Milford. 4 down, left arm. You're the guy. And Rachel, fantastic. Thank you so much for everybody. I can't wait to do this again next week. Oh, I've just lost all my buttons, but it's all good. It's all good. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. No. Crispy, no.